Welcome back to another Overland Coffee Talk. Today we're going to be talking about the channel hitting 100 members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you see the balloons fall from the ceiling? No?
Bah!
You're our 100th customer.
That's right. So we've got 100 members in the channel now, and it's pretty cool. We got people showing off their rigs and all sorts of new stuff going on.
Lots of videos and different accounts being shown off and seeing people from all over the world. It's quite a fun place to come hang out.
Absolutely. We've got users in Africa. We've got users in the UK, in Canada, in Germany, in the US. Lots and lots of users from all over the place. So we're really excited to have everybody on the channel and in for the discussion. Really happy to see all the different expertise that's brought in, people who know a lot about gear, people who know a lot about electronics, all sorts of different stuff. So it's really fun to see that on the channel.
If y'all would like to volunteer or be a regional ambassador or even a podcast guest, we have an ability to sign up inside the Discord.
That's right. Just go to the volunteer section and we've got a form that you can fill out. And if you want to come on the show, you can come on the show and we'll talk to you and find out what your favorite stuff is and how you got into overlanding. But if you just want to help the channel out, we've always got channel bumping, where you keep us at the top of the register. And then we've got folks who like to spread the word through their region. So ambassadors, regional ambassadors have a fun time with helping get the word out so that everybody can know when we've got new shows coming, but then also just letting people know about events that are happening in their areas or any kind of new things coming to that region. So we'd love to have you join us as a regional ambassador, especially if you're in a place where we haven't currently reached yet.
Fantastic.
So check it out. Go to overlanddc.com and you can find the sign up for the Discord. And then from there to your opportunities, and we'll get you signed up there. What are we going to talk about next, Phil?
I think we're talking about Christmas.
That's right. It's the holiday season again, right? Hanukkah is going on, I think, day 3 now.
Yeah.
And we are rocking and a rolling. And so this is the perfect time to talk about our holiday wish lists and the stuff that we would love for somebody to bring us this year. So what's the first thing on your list?
Well, I have this 3D printed switch panel that's going to go right below my gauges. And obviously it's empty right now. Need to put things in here?
Sure.
Yeah. So I've got the Nilight 6-pack of switches, and they're just rocker switches with various stickers, the ejecto seat, Sasquatch lights, all kinds of things like that you can plug in. So I'm going to load it up with that if someone gets me this. And then I've also got a waterproof fuse relay box to wire everything up to. So, I don't burn the truck down, which is generally seen as a bad thing these days. Right? Safety third.
Oh, yeah.
Having fun, family, not catching on fire, that's the order of things. So those two really combo together, and that's the first couple of things on my list. Next up is the YONHAN, I think is how you pronounce that, the quick charge. So what it does is it replaces those cigarette lighters with USB and a power switch and a voltmeter all in one. I like doing this on older vehicles because those old cigarette lighters, they're sometimes a little janky, and the charger for your phone keeps falling out. It's very annoying. So this makes it USB. It's high speed 3.0, like easy to charge, and it has a power button so you don't run down the battery, because on a lot of these old vehicles, those cigarette lighters are on until they burn the truck down.
Oof.
There's a lot of mentions of burning things. I'm sorry. That is not good karma to put out there.
Have you had a fire in your past, Phil?
Yes. I have a fire extinguisher in every car because my Mustang decided to burn the wire from the coil to the distributor. It set that on fire, which is alarming. Yeah. And so jumped out of the car, put the fire out, and then called AAA, because at that point, I didn't have a spare coil wire in the car at the time.
You don't carry those around?
I do now in that car. I mean, it's just a wire. Like, screw it. It's not gonna, there's
Yep.
various things in that car that are spares, but yeah. So always have a fire extinguisher. It was also an excellent uh test for my wife. At the time, she was my girlfriend, and she was in the passenger seat, and very calmly was just like, okay, cool, this is par for the course of someone who's grown up around cars. She's like, yep, all right, we're waiting for AAA. This is cool.
Being with a gearhead. Yep. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Have you had a vehicle burst into spontaneous?
I've never had anything that I was driving and catch on fire. I've had things shot at, and I've
Okay.
had different types of situations like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nothing's ever caught on fire in that sense. No.
Okay. Yeah, it's a whole different world of like, okay, we need to get stopped. Like, you kind of got to think through the steps and not just panic and watch the thing burn down in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that's your safety reminder tip for the podcast: fire extinguisher in all vehicles.
Fire extinguisher in all vehicles. Got it.
Oh, and don't. This is for fire extinguisher. This is for your first aid kit. Don't bury it like under the spare tire or in any place else. Make it easy to get to, because there's never a time where you're like, I'll get to that fire later. There's never a time where, this cut, we'll just bleed a little bit. No, fix it.
Absolutely.
Get to it fast.
No. I've got 3 first aid kits in my vehicle. One is the band-aids, the other one is the bones are broken, and both of them are mounted on the back of headrests, and they are bright red, as they should be, and it's very obvious what they are. So that is one thing that you really want to do, because you might know where you've stored your first aid kit, but if you're the one who needs first aid, you want everyone else to be able to find it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely mark it clearly. If you're in some parts of Asia, that's a big crescent. If you're in other parts in the West, that's a big red cross. So mark it clearly, make it obvious, and go from there, right? Because it may be your safety that you're preparing for, and you want to make sure you've taken care of you.
Exactly.
So awesome. Well, that's a good safety tip. What else was on your list this year?
A funny one is the Sun Company Lev-o-gage, which is an inclinometer it's made for like RVs to make sure you're parking on level ground, but I call it the oh shit meter, and so for your passenger to realize just how close you are to tipping over. And it, like, for extra bonus points, it's this little gauge. It's like 3.5 inches by like 1.5. For extra is you pencil in a little, this is where we tip over point on either side, and then try to hit that, even if it's not the real point, just to freak out the passengers, see how they're doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw one of my buddies on Instagram. He was like showing a video inside his truck, and I saw it and I was like, please link me to that. Like, what is that? It's like, oh, here it is on Amazon. Like,
that's awesome.
Amazing.
Check it out. It's only $15, guys. That is a great deal.
At this point, we're in a brand. I'm with the Overland Discord podcast official Oshido-meter.
There you go.
And then the last one is a little mini air pressure regulator. And so, as I've been talking about in the Discord, I'm rebuilding my 2-tire inflator into a 4-tire inflator. And one of the things I'm trying to do is figure out how to air up and down automatically. And so this is the air up automatically portion. So the regulator just sets the max pressure that the system can run at. And so you just dial this into whatever PSI you need to set, hook up your lines, and walk away until it stops, and you're good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've definitely been looking for a solution like that. I was airing up my tires last week on the side of I-17 because I forgot to do it when we got off the trail. So yeah, definitely would like a nice solution, super easy, and you don't have to be sitting there holding on to it on the side of the freeway like I was.
Yeah, you never want to do anything on the side of the freeway. It's a bad place to be on the side of.
If you don't have to, you can do it somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
All right.
I can't wait to see the 4-tire air up, air down solution that you got going.
Yeah, it's coming together pretty well. I spent way too much time drawing a little diagram in Photoshop, so that'll be up on the Discord as well for everybody to take a look at and reproduce on your own. It's pretty cool.
Right on. Well, I definitely can't wait to see that. So going over to my list, the first thing on my list is, I don't know about you guys, but I am constantly fighting the rattle. I'm constantly fighting the rattle. My wife comments on, "Oh, it's pretty noisy in here." Or if I've done well that week, "Oh, it's so quiet." Right? So I'm constantly in a battle against the rattle. It's the rattle battle, and it's bad. So in order to beat the rattle battle, I am going to ask for a Canyon Camping Storage Bag. It comes from Overland Vehicle Systems. It's like $80, but it's a wax canvas little storage bag. It's just one of those rolls up, and it helps you store all your stuff. And the beauty of storing in soft side is that you can condense it, you can wrap it, you can make it smaller. It's fairly portable. It doesn't add a lot of weight. I'm only seeing pros here, right? I can put it inside of something that is hard and make the storage quieter, because I have metal drawers. I have the Overland Vehicle System, the drawer system, and it doesn't have a lot of noise dampening to it. And so adding something like this gives noise dampening aspects. So that's it. That's the Canyon Camping Storage Bag from Overland Vehicle Systems. I have been watching them a lot because, just to be honest, they're a pretty budget option for a lot of the stuff
Yeah,
that they do. And
it's
I've
not
been
bad.
really happy with the other stuff I've gotten from them. I mean, you can spend a lot of money doing
Yeah.
these upgrades and all that type of stuff. But Overland Vehicle Systems, they're coming in. I won't quite call them a budget option, but they're right around that area. They're working on trying to make it accessible to people so you can still have really cool systems that are all tied in and purpose built. And so that's
Very
pretty
cool.
cool.
I will
Yeah.
ask on your rattle. Have you heard of the soft side of the Velcro trick? You ever seen that?
Why don't you tell me about it?
Okay, so they actually used to do this on some OEM manufacturers. What you do is, like, especially if you have two plastic pieces that are next to each other, what you can do is take the soft side of adhesive Velcro, so not the like rough side, but the soft side, and put that on one of the panels, and that acts as enough of a dampener so that they don't squeak when they're next to each other and rub. It's really useful for lots of our plasticky interiors where everything's kind of clipped together. You can use those as almost like a cushion to help dampen them and get rid of extra vibrations.
So that is a trick that I've been using because I did a seat delete
Mm-hmm.
in the back of my Forerunner, and that got me down to bare metal in the back, and bare
Mm-hmm.
metal equal bad.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did was laid down carpet. I did adhesive backed carpeting all over the whole area, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm still thin, right?
Yeah.
And I had to mount my drawer system to something. So when I mounted the drawer system, I took adhesive backed um, Velcro, the
Mm-hmm.
soft side, and
Yeah.
put it underneath so that I had a nice little cushion between the mounting points. So I didn't have, and I also didn't want to have dissimilar metals. I didn't want to have steel and aluminum next to each
Sure.
other.
Yeah.
So that was how I used it. But I haven't done it with plastic. That's fun. I mean, obviously the premise makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely
The
worth
other thing
checking
to
out.
look into when you have those big expanses of open metal is, they have those adhesive, like lizard skin and things like that. You don't necessarily have to cover everything because the panel has a resonance in it. You only have to change its mass enough for it to shift that resonance to a place where your vehicle is not going to hit it. And so you don't have to cover the whole thing. Oftentimes you can just do a little bit of a patch to change its frequencies and boost it out of where the bad sound's coming from.
Right on. Well, very cool. The next thing on my list was the WaterPort. It's
Oh
that
yeah.
3.8-gallon self-pressurized water tank. Um, I carry around water in one form factor or another. right
You have
now.
to.
I have, multiple options. I've got actually like a steel welded up tank that's built into my trailer. And that thing is about, I don't know, about 12 gallons maybe. And it holds a bunch, but it also has started to rust. So
I hear that's
that water
bad.
is only, yeah, that's not good. So that water is only used for putting out the fire. And if I need to clean up around tank, camp or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't drink that stuff. So what I was thinking about doing was getting something like the WaterPort and using it for the showers, but then also just for hot water.
Yeah.
So
That's very cool.
yeah, they're pretty sweet, and I would definitely have that on my Christmas wish list. I've seen a lot of different positive reviews about it. I don't personally own it yet, so I don't know if it's great or not. But the first thing that I would think about doing is just figuring out how to change out that hand pump for something that connects to my Viair air compressor. That way I could just hit a switch and have water running. Because yeah, having the Viair, soon I'm gonna have my Viair air compressor installed to where it's in an always on type situation where I
Mhm.
can just flip a switch and it's good to go. So once I have that, that would be a natural thing to put with
Yeah.
the water port or something of that sort.
Might as well. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Very neat.
So, and then I already have this, but you can't have too many of them. A flat tire puncture repair kit. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, I am rolling around. Everyone judge me. I'm rolling around without a spare. I did that because one was budget. I spent a bunch of money on my my suspension when I bought my tires. My tires were too big to fit on the current suspension I had, so I bought the suspension and all that stuff. And I just didn't buy a fifth tire. I didn't buy a fifth tire, didn't buy a fifth wheel. Um, I am going to be buying another set of four wheels soon when I convert the trailer over to match, and then I'll have 8 of the same tires and only have 6 wheels that I'm driving on. So I'll be carrying 2 spares at that point. So
Gotcha.
once I get to there, I'll be good, but I'm not there yet. So right now,
Mhm.
I need to be cautious. And that means that I need to be carrying around ARB's flat tire puncture repair kit. The kit that I have had in my car right now, I've had since about 2017, and I've used it once.
Oh,
So
okay.
that rubber
Lucky
could be
you.
old. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even on my vehicle. That was the best
Mm.
part.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just used it to help somebody else out. But I mean, it's an inexpensive repair kit, and
Hmm.
it comes with a really nice reamer, and it works. So definitely something worth checking out if you run in areas where you're likely to get a puncture. Then this is something that I would add to the back of the truck. No questions asked. It's easy. It doesn't take up a lot of weight. It's not a lot of weight. It takes up a little bit of space, but it's worth it, right? These are one of those
Yeah.
things absolutely worth it. So, and then the next thing on my
Yeah.
list. Oh, go ahead.
I've got one of those, a similar kit in my truck, and I've used it a couple of times. There's a time and what's funny is none of the punctures ever happened on the trail. This was all street punctures. I'd get home and
No.
the truck's sitting there flat. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yep.
And I first time I it was back on my Canyon. I had 3 flats in 3 years in that thing, and every time was puncture. And the first time I went to the dealer and they fixed it for free because the truck was nearly new, and it took so long for them to do. I'm like, you know what? I have this fix a flat, and so the next time I did the fix a flat in my garage, and it's so fast once you get good at it. Like it's so easy to use, and it's a nice experience. It's again one of those essential things to have in your truck.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, the next one that I got is kind of funny. It is one that I already have, but I would have asked for it for Christmas if I hadn't already gotten it. And it's
Hmm.
ARB's digital deflator. So that it's a tire pressure gauge. So it shows you what the pressure is and all of that. Really funny story was that I was actually airing down last week on the trail, and I pulled this thing out thinking I'm going to be all hot and just do a really quick deflate, right? So I
Yeah.
pulled it out and I kind of set things up and I threaded it on and nothing happened. And I'm just like, really? So this leads us to tip 2 of the day. Don't figure out how to use your stuff on the trail.
No.
Figure out how to use your stuff in your driveway. Figure out how to use your stuff at home. I had a really great tool with me and I didn't know how to use it. So that's pretty useless. It was about as good as a rock at that point. And I think I used a pencil to deflate my tires that day. So you do what you got to do, right? We're all learning.
Exactly.
Everybody's on the journey. There's something new for everybody to learn. And that's one of my favorite parts about our channel is that we've got people with lots of different knowledge bases and experience and people who've driven a large variety of cars and they have all these different options. So it's really great to be able to have that opportunity to work with people and to, say, hey, what do you think about this? And, oh, no, that's not going to work. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with somebody and they were asking, oh, what do you think about this awning? This awning? Oh, that's the awning that's on my 4Runner. Let me take some pictures for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. So it's great to be able to have this community and be able to ask people questions and get answers pretty quickly. I love how interactive it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Lots of good conversations going on there.
Yeah. And then this last item on my list, again, I already have it. So I'm putting it on here just for the conversation point. But the conversation point is this is the Auxbeam switch panel. It's an 8-gang switch panel. And it's $155, guys. If you've seen the Switch Pro, you've seen that thing costs like $400, $500. And that's before you've even gotten to the smart aspects of it, right? That's just literally for the push buttons stuff. You're not even getting to an app yet. You're not getting to your phone, nothing. That's $400, $500. That's insane. But the Auxbeam switch panel, 8-gang switch panel, is pretty cool. It comes with one cable, goes through the cab into wherever you're installing it. It mounts flush. So I've even seen people just use VHB tape to stick it on to their dash. I didn't do that. In another video at some point I'll show you what I did, but I installed mine actually in my console. I went in and just did some self-tapping in there and I've got mine switched into what I feel like is a pretty good spot. I can reach down by touch and engage my switches, but it doesn't block any of my air vents, doesn't block any of my existing switches. So I really like it.
Nice.
And I only had to pull one cable. So
that is convenient.
Very convenient. So, and we brought it up because we were going to talk about your.
Yeah, the switch panel I talked about. Yeah, we were talking about that. What to do. Because like I had the Auxbeam on my list for a while, but what I think I'm going to do is end up still doing just switches. And we were talking about how we could just surface mount an Auxbeam right here. That would be nice. But I don't know. I think we're going to do the flippy switches.
Do the switches.
And see how that works. Yeah, and the nice thing about the Excursion is it's based off the FT50, and they had upfitter switches available back then. And so there's 4 wires that automatically are ran through the firewall for you that you can wire stuff into. So that should cover me. That has 6 spots. So I mean, 4 is enough for now. I mean, there's not a
force plan.
I don't have a UFO signaling light package on the truck yet. So like we're to go slow with it.
Absolutely.
See what we need to add.
Right on. Well, those are our wish list items for Christmas. That's what we came up with. Definitely, if you guys have any ideas or you want to add anything to it, let us know. Send us a message through the Discord. As always, you can reach us at overlanddc.com, or you can go to Instagram, find us at overlanddc, and Phil's at CoskFX.
Yep.
On Instagram. So yeah, good stuff. Check it out and let us know how your holidays are going and what you want for Christmas and all the fun stuff.
Exactly. See you on the Discord.
All right, guys. Thanks very much. Take care.